I don't normally make videos like this. I definitely don't make a video when I look as rough as I do, but I've not been having the best time recently, so I've kind of been a bit quiet, sort of, and the last 2 weeks especially have not been a fun time for me, and I've cried probably more times than I've slept, which is kind of the reason why I'm filming this video. I'm also going to try and not edit a lot of this out. I'll probably edit out long silences and things, but that'll be it. But yeah, basically I'm just going to be talking about my frustrations with dealing with endometriosis. I've never really spoken about this before. I've written some blog posts about it, which I will leave below if you want to read them, but speaking to a camera is something that I've never done about this, and I'm going to try and do it without crying. Just for a bit of context for those of you who are watching this and don't know what endometriosis is, it's basically a incurable illness that affects 1 in 10 women in the UK, where basically the lining of the womb grows in different places and can cause many issues. The main ones being infertility, problems with your bladder, liver, kidneys, ovaries. Like, basically it can ruin a person's life, and there's no cure for it, and the treatments are a joke, basically, is the only really way I can describe it. And it's something that I've dealt with since I was probably 14, but I wasn't diagnosed until I was 19. So I had 5 years of basically being in excruciating pain and being told that that pain was normal and that I would grow out of it. It's been 10 years now since I've started with this pain and I haven't grown out of it. So you can see why I'm getting a bit frustrated. The reason why I've kind of decided to make this video now is because the past 2 weeks I have been really ill, and I have once again not been able to do anything. I've basically been existing for the past 2 weeks. I've been in so much pain, and the frustration of constant pain is starting to kind of wear me down a little bit, because it's like no matter what you do, it's never gonna go. And I'm very much a person, like, I don't like it when I'm not in control of things that I can do. Not like controlling what other people do, like people can do what they want, but when I can't do what I want to do. Like, I mean very basic things like do a workout. There's some days when I physically can't do a workout, and there's so many different things, like to the point where like all I am able to do is just lie in one position for days on end, which like to a lot of people sounds like, oh, that's just, you know, chilling out, lying in bed. But when you've done it since you were 14, with pain that can at times make you scream in agony is not fun. It sometimes makes me feel like I'm not really a person because I can't do anything. And I'm in my early 20s, like I'm supposed to be thriving and living my best life and doing whatever, and I can't do that because it takes so much energy to just sometimes get through a day. And I feel like what's been going on recently has kind of made me think about all the times that this illness has held me back or stopped me from being able to do what I want to do. And when you're kind of in that state anyway, it's so easy to kind of fall down that rabbit hole of feeling bad about yourself, feeling like you're not good enough, feeling like you're the issue is horrible. But that's basically my life, and I'm just sick of it. I'm actually sick of it now, the fact that there's nothing that anyone can do. There's no real help. From a medical standpoint, I can have treatment because treatment doesn't exist. I've been told countless times by not just medical professionals but specialists that options for treatment include trying to get pregnant, which for a lot of people that suffer with this illness is almost impossible because of what it can do to your ovaries and your womb and all that stuff. And I've even been told, when I think I was 21, to consider a hysterectomy as a way to cure my condition. I'm going to give you a minute to let that sink in. Like, I've literally been told and been recommended to have a hysterectomy at 21 as a way to stop my endometriosis. Like, I just need you to understand that this is what not just me but hundreds of thousands of women experience all the time. You literally get told that if you have a hysterectomy it'll go away, and people are sometimes that desperate that they will do that. Like, it's just and it's hard to kind of explain to people what this illness is like, because a lot of times people just kind of refer to it as, oh, it's just like a bad period. Oh, well, I have a bad period pain sometimes as well, but like I can still do things. Like, it's, people still think either A, this isn't a thing because they've not heard of it, or B, people are doing it for attention. And I don't know what kind of people would do that, but I would never want this for, like, I couldn't care less about attention. Like, I would prefer to fade into the background. Like, I'm not about that life. I to the point, like, I would never wish this on my worst enemy because it feels like torture. It's like a tap just dripping on your head constantly, all day, every day. Like, the pain doesn't go away. You just have days where the pain is less than other days. I don't honestly remember a time when I've been completely pain-free in the past 10 years. And to deal with that from being a 14-year-old when you're already dealing with so many different things to begin with, to now, and really not seeing any change, but instead having it get worse and still not being given any support or help whatsoever, is it's ridiculous. The thing that frustrates me the most is that it feels like, because it's an issue to do with women's health and periods and your reproductive system and menstrual cycles and all that, people don't want to know, people don't want to deal with it because it's a taboo subject. But like, this is my life. I'm not, as a person, I'm not a taboo subject. But it's like disgusting to talk about your period. It's disgusting to talk about your cycles. It's, nobody wants to hear about that. Like, I don't want to know what happens in your body. But this affects so many people, and yet a lot of people don't even know what this is, and we're just grouped together in a box and left. I wasn't even given a diagnosis by a doctor. I had to ask for it because I found out about endometriosis by myself. It was never suggested to me by a doctor, by a nurse, by a specialist, by anyone. I had to literally say, do I have this? Because I found out about endometriosis on a night out, talking to another person. That's the only reason why I got referred to a specialist about endometriosis, because I asked for it. And even after I had the diagnosis confirmed, I never heard anything. I never got any help. I didn't even get like a piece of paper telling me what it was. I had to find out everything that I know now on my own, and that I don't understand how that's right. Like, you're literally just diagnosed and left. And the fact that I even had to fight to get a referral for it when I was an 18-year-old at the time. And I'm not wanting this video to be like, oh, a pity party for me or poor you and all this. Like, I don't want the sympathy. I'm just trying to outline for people that this is happening constantly. And it feels like a lot of times that nobody cares. And I'm at the point now where I can't just keep letting this happen. I don't want to be someone who lives my entire life and there still not being a cure or a sufficient treatment. Because to me, going on a contraception pill is not a treatment. Having a hormone injection to put yourself into a false menopause is not a treatment. Having a hysterectomy is not a treatment. Having a baby is not a treatment. And at the minute, these are the only things that we're being given as options. it's either them or just deal with it. Like, I can't even get referred for pain management because I don't fall under the right list. So even then, I can't get good enough painkillers to help me just do a day's work. I just want to have a life back, pretty much. I want to be able to make plans with people and then actually do those plans and not have to cancel them because I'm having a flare up. And I'm sick of feeling like I don't matter and that everyone who suffers with this, because there's people that suffer worse than me, way worse than me, that we're just forgotten about. I'm not someone who opens up a lot about how they're feeling. I tend to just keep it all on the inside, which isn't healthy because I'm bottling up so much anger, so much pain, so much hurt, so much frustration that it's almost suffocating. And that's basically why I've made this video, because I have to get this frustration out, because I don't know how much more I can take. And even if this helps one person not feel like they're on their own, or somebody watches this and thinks that might explain why I've been in pain all this time, then that's really all that I want. I don't want to just be another statistic of a chronic illness or another statistic of endometriosis. I want to be able to use my voice to hopefully actually make a difference, because it's like enough is enough now. I'm sorry if this video isn't the content that you want to see, but I wanted to explain why I've not really been around or active, but also this needs to be talked about. And if you don't like it, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna still be talking about it. I'm gonna leave some links in the description box of websites where you can find out more information. I'm going to leave my blog down there so you can read a bit more. Thank you for listening, and I will hopefully see you in my next video. Bye.